Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children, we welcome you to our online teaching academy Ekalaiva. Today we are going to start our new lesson in Civics Unit 4. Our topic is India's foreign policy. First, what is meant by foreign policy? It can be defined as a country's policy that is designed and formulated to safeguard and promote her national interests in her external affairs. So the learning objectives of this lesson are to identify the basic principles of India's foreign policy, explain the meaning and significance of non-alignment, analyze the stages of our foreign policy, explain the importance of foreign policy, recognize the difference between domestic policy and foreign policy. So India's foreign policy, it seeks to secure the basic interests of the people, territory and economy of the country. It is a direct reflection of country's traditional values and overall national policy. An objective and goal-oriented foreign policy has the potential to achieve improved relations with other nations and accelerate growth. The main tools of foreign policy are treaties and executive agreements, appointing ambassadors, foreign aid, international trade, and armed forces. So the Constitution of India 1950, according to Article 51, it lays down directive principles of India's foreign policy. So the state shall endeavour to promote international peace and security, maintain just and honorable relationships between nations, respect for international law and international organization, encourage settlement of international disputes. The main objectives of our foreign policy are national security, national prosperity, increasing the number of friendly nations, achieving world peace and enable every nation to peacefully coexist, and economic development. First, we are going to discuss about Panchasheel. First, what is Panchasheel? So, if we take this word Panchasheel, it is derived from Sanskrit word Panch, which means five, and Sheel means virtues. So, the five principles of peaceful coexistence, that is Panchasheel, between India and China was signed on 28 April 1954, which stated that the two governments entered into an agreement based on the following principles. That is mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, mutual non-aggression, mutual non-interference, equality and cooperation of mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence. Of the five principles of peaceful coexistence, the first states mutually respect the territorial integrity and sovereignty of each country. That is, a country adheres to its own will, independently decides its internal and external tasks, and is not subject to aggression or interference by any other country. Next comes mutual non-aggression. It includes a promise by the signatories not to engage in military action against each other. Non-interference in internal and external affairs. Cooperation between the countries for their mutual benefit and to maintain peace. Next, we are going to discuss about the basic determinants of a foreign policy. First, geographical position and size of territory. A nation's history, traditions, and philosophical basis. Natural resources. The compulsion of economic development. Political stability and structure of government. Necessity of peace. This disarmament means giving up of weapons, to give up weapons. Non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. Proliferation means multiplying. Military strength and international milieu. So milieu means social, environment, climate, location. All these things comes under this. So these are the basic determinants of a foreign policy. Next, we are going to discuss about non-alignment. The period from independence through 1950s and 1960s constituted the most idealistic phase of India's foreign policy under the guidance of India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. The new nations that got independence after the long period of colonial struggle found themselves in a very difficult situation with respect to economic development. So it was necessary to align with either of the blocs, that is USA or USSR, that is Union Soviet Socialist Republic. So Nehruji, India's first Prime Minister, was opposed to the rivalry of the two superpowers, that is America and Russia, who were trying to extend their influence over newly emerged nations of Asia and Africa. So he chose the path of non-alignment, that is, not aligning with any bloc, and tried to form a third bloc of nations in international affairs. So the aim of India's foreign policy of that time was world cooperation, world peace, end of colonial imperialism, racial equality, and non-alignment. Broadly, non-alignment means not trying yourself off with military blocks. It means trying to view things as far as possible, not from the military point of view, but independently and trying to maintain friendly relations with all countries. This is the definition given by Jawaharlal Nehru. The term non-aligned movement, NAM, was coined by Krishna Menon in his speech at the United Nations in 1953. Non-alignment has been regarded as the most important feature of India's foreign policy. It aimed to maintain national independence in foreign affairs by not joining any military alliance. The non-aligned movement NAM was formed with a membership of 120 countries and 17 states as observers and 10 international organizations. Non-alignment countries have been successful in establishing a foundation of economic cooperation among underdeveloped countries. Another noteworthy fact is that it has transformed from a political movement to an economical movement. The founding fathers of non-aligned movement: Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Tito of Yugoslavia, Nasser of Egypt, Sukarno of Indonesia, and Kwame Kumara of Ghana were the founding fathers of NAM. Okay, children, today we discussed about NAM, Panchasheel, and some determinants of India's foreign policy. Tomorrow we will continue. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you, children.